Y'all, this roundtable was so intense, baby. It was so intense. But let me tell you something. Portia, you have the nerve to be on the internet saying that you feel like Candace set you up. No, girl, you did this to yourself. Welcome to my channel. We're here. We break down reality TV shows with laughter and reenactments, all while giving it to you straight with no chaser. Because we don't just watch TV around here, we get into the things of the things. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. The Traitors Season 4 Episode 2. Baby, when I tell you this episode is jam-packed with a little bit of everything, We have a murder, we have a live murder happening, and a roundtable. We got some things to get into, but before we do, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through, and if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I need y'all to watch this with me. I know some of y'all don't have Peacock. Get Peacock. Get Peacock. I need y'all to watch this with me because it's really just that good. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So the episode picks up exactly where we left off, right? So we know that Candace, Rob, and Lisa are now at the point where they need to figure out who are they going to murder off the short list. Now, they have Eric, Ian, and Mark. Now they decide that Ian is a gamer, so he's a threat. So it would be fine to take him out. But if they was to take out Mark, it'd be like, we shaking things up because it would be so unexpected. But they feel like if they eliminate Eric, that will cause confusion because he's such a nice guy. Why did we murder Eric? But here's the thing. After watching this episode, Eric came to play. Don't think he's as sweet as you think he is because he is definitely in the game, baby. He's in the game. But nonetheless, a decision has to be made and we're about to find out. So it's the next morning and everyone's starting to come down for breakfast. Lisa, Monette, Tiffany, and Caroline come down first, right? Now, Tiffany is explaining to Caroline what happened, right? Because she heard all this commotion. They was running down on Candace. Like, what was going on? Well, she's telling her, like, Portia said that Candace said that Michael said, put it in the housewife grave, this, that, and the other. And Candace said that she didn't do it. The whole time Lisa's sitting there and she's realizing that Candace may talk too effing much, okay? She is putting a target on her back. Just listening to this conversation, she's realizing, like, Candace, you need to stay out the mess. So now everyone else starts to come into the room. Everyone's happy to see each other. And Dorinda is just so excited because she made it to her first breakfast. Because last time she was on the Traitors, she got sent home immediately. So we have to give a round of applause for her making it. I don't have time for the sob story. Get in the game. Dorinda, get in the game. I feel like, I don't know if she's made for this show, okay? Now, normally, I feel like the housewives do really good on the show, but I just don't feel like she got the guts, the courage, all the things in her. I could be wrong because I don't watch her franchise for the housewives, but like, girl, I don't have time for the sympathy party. That's not how you gonna win the game, sis. But anyway, Gam comes in and he's talking to Rob C, and he was like, Rob C, I thought you was gonna be going. Rob C was like, well, I thought I was gonna be going too. So Candace is like, Jam, why did you think it was gonna be Rob C? And I said, see, Candace, don't do too much. Don't do too much. You're doing too much. But what she's trying to do is cause confusion. She's trying to put a target on, Gam's back. And Rob C is buying into it because he's trying to figure out, like, why was you so certain that I was going home? Why was you so sure that I was going home? But here's the thing. Rob C feels like maybe Jam is a traitor because why were you so certain that I would be gone? And I was like, well, he can't be that certain because you're still here. If he was certain that you would be gone, sir, you would be gone. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So now that everybody is in the breakfast room, they realize that Ian is gone. Ian got murdered last night, okay? But here's the thing. They chose him because they said, oh, he's smart. He's a genius. He won Big Brother. That's a social game. He knows how to play a social game, and that's exactly what this is, okay? Now, Ian said when he saw this, he said, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming because, like, yeah, I'm that guy. If this is the best compliment you could have ever gave me, it just shows that I was a big threat. And I'm not mad at that choice at all, even though I feel like at this point, they should have chose Eric. I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like it should have been Eric, okay? Now, Tiffany decides that she wants to make a speech. And I said, Tiffany, what girl? She said that she knows Ian personally. And he came here because he wanted to face his fears. And he's such a good person. And I'm looking at Tiffany like, I don't think this is a good idea. Like, I don't understand. Have y'all watched Traitors before? Because why would you put on a whole speech? It's giving theatrics. It's giving dramatic. It's giving, I'm trying to act like I'm super sad about it. You know what I mean? And even Carlton picked up on it because he was like, I feel like that's very weird. Like, it's making me hard not to trust her. And I say, yeah, doing too much. And I know that she meant no harm by it because I know that she's not a traitor unless she's a secret traitor, right? But it's like, girl, read the room. This was not the time for all of that. Not at all, okay? So now Alan comes in and he lets them know that Ian is gone. He tells them to get ready because they are about to be thrown into the next mission. Now Monet said, listen, I want Rob to throw me, baby. Rob from Love Island can throw me. Rob said, oh, really? Child, they be flirting with Rob real bad up in there, okay? When Rob first got here and he said, this is all so new to me, I got clothes on and I ain't kissed nobody else, I definitely felt that because, yeah, this is not the type of game that I thought Rob would be really, really good at. But baby, am I surprised. I am so surprised at how good of a trader he is. I would have never guessed it or called it, but I'm here for it, that's for sure. And then as I'm watching this, I think it's so funny now because we're all in on this, right? You have the faithfuls looking for the traitors. You have the traitors looking for the secret traitor. You got us trying to find a secret traitor. And one of my subscribers brought it to my attention that now that we don't know who the secret traitor is, we realize how hard it is to figure out who the secret traitor is, right? Which means we understand now how hard it is for them to find out who the traitor is. Like, we know. So, of course, everything just stands out to us when it's like, girl, why would you do that? You won't get caught. But when you don't know who's who, it's hard to tell. And that's so true. Because I'm sitting here this episode like, is it PORSHA? Is it Michael? Is it Donna? Like, I was really spinning. My head was spinning trying to figure out who the daggone secret traitor is. But I have a strong, strong feeling since episode 1 that is Donna. And I'm going to tell y'all why when we get to the round table. Now, everyone's sitting around talking to each other about, trying to figure out who the traitor is and building alliances and things like that. And PORSHA, like, girl, now I know PORSHA from watching PORSHA for years and years and years and years. But I did not think that she was really this dumb. Like, we knew that the elevator didn't go all the way up, but I figured, like, you gotta have some type of smartness to you, girl. Because while she's talking, she said that she had killed Ian. And I was like, did she say, I killed Ian or they killed Ian? But no, everyone's sitting around like, did she just say she killed Ian? Rob is on it. Baby, Rob, when he heard that, his antennas went up. Now he's saying to himself, I don't know if she slipped and said that, or I don't know if it was a genuine mistake. But now he is gunning for her. He is paying close attention to PORSHA. And this is where it all started for you, PORSHA. It did not start with the whole Candace situation, because we kind of got past that. But you saying that you killed Ian definitely puts a target on your back. And this, when I started questioning, is it PORSHA? Because all last episode, I just knew it was Donna. But something about her slipping up, I'm like, is PORSHA playing dumb? She can't be playing dumb because she just said it. Like, girl, bye. Nonetheless, Tiffany, Natalie, Lisa, and a few of the others are talking, right? Now, Tiffany brought up Donna and how she's not, like, talking gameplay. How she's not really trying to get into the game. And she's like, I don't know. She's just chilling. She feels like she's safe. And I was like, I knew it. I felt it last episode. And I already told y'all my logic. And it's because they want to keep her in the game longer. They want to keep the Swiftie audience. And that would make her the perfect secret traitor. So now everyone's looking like, you know what? You're right. She doesn't seem worried at all. She's not talking gameplay with nobody. What's going on with that? Yeah, girl, you starting to stand out like a sore thumb. Remember, Jam and Monet was already on her. And now others are starting to look at her. And I'm looking at her too. Now, the thing is, people are scared to say her name. Carson's like, I'm scared because of the Swifties. Get your head in the game. We don't have time to be scared of the Swifties. My God, y'all. My God. PORSHA keeps talking like she's a traitor. She's sitting there talking about, it's 4 traitors, right? And here's the thing. In my mind, I understood what she was saying because we have to. If you watch the Traitors, you know that there's usually 3 traitors that's picked, and they picked one traitor in front of us. So I would assume it was 4-2. But the way she said it made it seem like she was so sure. And I'm just like, girl, just stop talking. Porsha, you're talking too much. See, that's the problem. You're running your mouth too much. Do a lot more listening and less talking, and you might could have saved yourself. I'm just saying. But nonetheless, it's time for another mission, and this time there is a shield. This time there is plenty of shields. And this is when Michael solidified that he need to take his ass the hell home. This is when I was very much sure that he was going to work my ever freaking lasting nerve. Okay, let's get into the challenge. So the challenge is that they have to move the 3 thrones with one of the contestants in each seat. They go to these 3 different stops. They pick up the gold at the stop, and if they get a shield, they can swap out with whoever's on the throne so that they can get on the throne, right? So here we go. We start off with Tiffany, Caroline, and Candace on the throne. Now, Carlton has a good plan, right? He said that he's going to go to both stops. He's going to go for the money. And the last stop, he's going to go for the shield, because it's no way that if you start off on the throne, you're going to end up on the throne, because there's all these shields out there that people are going to keep swapping out with you, right? And when you're on the throne, you don't have the opportunity to get a shield to stay on the throne. You just got to sit there and pray nobody find them. But we already know that that's not going to happen, right? So we get to stop 1, and Monet found a token, and she gave it to Lisa. So Lisa swapped out with Carlin. And then Steven found a token and gave it to Dorinda, and Dorinda swapped out with Candace. So now I'm like, okay, I didn't expect for the guys to be giving out their tokens so fast, but the logic behind it is that they still have to go to these other stops, and to have someone heavy in the seat will slow them down because they only have 45 minutes. And if they don't get this done in a time frame, then they get absolutely nothing, right? So I totally get it. Now, they are collecting money, they collecting tokens, they are doing really good. First stop. Second stop, Steven found another token, and he gave it to Caroline. Now, Caroline decided that she was going to swap with Tiffany. Mura found a token and swapped with Dorinda, right? So the last stop, we get to the last stop, and now everybody's going for the shield, because if you're on the throne, baby, you are safe. You are safe. So now I'm not passing off my token, right? Right. Now, Colton found a token, and this time he did not give it away. That's what he said. He said, I was going to get on a throne, and he executed his plan. Definitely did. Now, Rob R found a token, and he gave it to Jam Jam. And so I was sitting here like, I don't know if that's going to look suspicious of you, Rob, right? Because this is the last stop. Anyone who gets a token right now would definitely want to be on the throne. It would give that you're not scared of being murdered. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, Yam Yam is over there, and he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. And Mura is like, please, 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 pleading with him. Don't take me off, take me off, please, 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 please. And he's like, no, I gotta do it. Now, Michael behind decided that he want to run up and be like, no, I think I should get a chance. He's mad because Yam Yam used his token to get on the throne. And I'm sitting here like, and who the F do you think you are that you feel like you deserve it? He's talking about, I thought there would be some negotiations. Why did you think that? Why did you think there would be negotiations about who found the token and who was going to take the spots in the chair? Because the goal is, if you find a token, then you get to sit in the throne. The other people was just giving theirs away because they wanted to. Colton gave his away because he had a plan. And when he got to his last stop, he executed his plan, swapped out whoever was in that seat, and sat down. Why did you think that if I find a shield that I'm going to be like, oh, we should talk about who gets this? Absolutely the fuck not. It's him having a bitch fit for me. It's him having a tantrum for me. Acting like somebody owed him something, like he deserves something. I'm like, sir, you need to calm down, because you're pissing me off, and you're pissing me off real bad. Now, Mura is pissed because she feels like Yam Yam wanted this too bad, like he gotta be a traitor. And I'm like, no, that man just wanted safety the same way you did. I don't understand Why people just don't think that these people want safety? It's like either you fight for your safety or you give up your safety. Either way, you gonna be targeted because that was like, oh, they just gave it up. Oh, they wanted too bad. It's given they putting on the show. So it's like you can't win for losing. At the end of the day, get your safety, Jam Jam. I'm not mad at you at all. Okay. So then they get back to Alton and they had 10 minutes to spare. So they like, can we go back? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what they did get was $22,500 into the pot. Cha-ching, right? Now, Jam Jam, Caroline, and Colton are safe. Good for y'all. Good for y'all. Now, Caroline, I don't know how she managed to start off, get swapped out, get swapped back in, and never get out that seat again, but she did that. She did that. Y'all better watch out for her. Watch out for her. And of course, Michael's still sitting here acting like he deserves the shield more than anyone else. He's still putting on a scene, still putting on a show. And I'm just like, send his ass home. Send his ass home. So now everybody's back at the castle, and I'm just let y'all know Donna look real suspicious, and Monet is on her ass. Okay, she is on her ass, but she feels like she's not a part of no groups or no alliances. But come to find out, she is. She's with Ron. She's with Ron, and her and Ron have got it out for Porsha because Porsha been running her mouth too much, and it seems like she's a traitor at this point. Okay. So it's very clear at this point that there is a group of people who think it's Porsha, and there is a group of people who think it's Donna. Overall, I want it to be Michael. I want it to be Michael so y'all can get Michael the hell up out of here. So now we get to the round table. And when I tell you I was in it, baby, like I had to watch it without taking notes because I wanted to really feel the game. And then I watched it and took the notes because that's how good it was. So let's go ahead and get into this round table because, baby, it's tense. It's very tense, okay? Alan enters the room and he tells them it's time to get down to business. It's time to figure out who's a traitor, and it will be a triumph if you guys get a traitor on the first round table. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. Like, come on, y'all, lock in. Now it gets quiet. Nobody's saying nothing. Natalie busts out like, okay, can I just say, so I told myself that I would follow my gut. If I feel like there's anything that's untrue, I have to be true to myself. And I have to say it because the faithful cannot be scared. So she says that Donna has popped up on her radar. She said that her personality changed since she took off the blindfold. It feels like, first she was all warm and nurturing and welcome. And then as soon as the blindfolds came off, she just seemed a lot more stressed, okay? Now, Mama Kelsey said that that's just my personality. Sometimes I'm just up and then sometimes I'm just down. And I said, it's giving sympathy. It's giving sympathy. But when she said that she was like the low-hanging fruit, she's not attached to anybody here, I said it's her. It's her, y'all. It's so obvious to me because it just makes perfect sense. It just makes perfect sense. So Nadia's like, just because you think you low-hanging fruit don't mean you ain't a traitor. And I said, clock it. Clock it. So Mama Kelsey got a little quiet at this point, right? Now, Ron, he loved him some Mama Kelsey. So he's like, let me jump in here. So he jumps in and he's like, I got 3 pieces of evidence for this person. So he said he think Porsha is a traitor. Now, he brought up the misunderstanding that she had with Candace about Michael. Then he said that, she said that she murdered Ian with her own mouth. And then everybody was like, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? They was like, you, Porsha. Porsha was like, I said that? I don't remember saying that. So then Mike was like, I heard it. And Eric was like, I heard it. And I said, ooh, okay. So this is what we're doing now. Now all of a sudden everybody hears something. When just yesterday, nobody heard nothing when it came down to the whole situation with Candace, Porsha, and Michael, right? Nobody heard nothing then, but now everybody hearing stuff. So Porsha tells him, like, listen, I'm not a traitor. Let me just start with that. I'm not nobody's traitor. She said, I probably misspoke. She said that she really did think that going to Candace, that Candace was going to say that Michael said put it in the grave because that's what she said he said. Maybe she just misunderstood it, right? So Ron is like, so then are you going to admit that you said I murdered Ian? And Porsha was like, well, I don't remember actually saying I murdered Ian. Michael, I heard it. Eric, I heard it. Like, y'all, when I tell you I was shaking, I was like, come on. I was like, I know Porsha is not about to get banished first. Like, y'all losing the plot. Y'all losing the plot. Michael or Donna? Michael or Donna, right? But I can't blame them because Porsha was really putting her foot in her mouth the whole entire time. So Porsha's like, if I said that, I completely misspoke. And Ron was like, I think you're lying. And she was like, well, you have every right to think that you're lying, just like I have every right to respond. But I am not a traitor. And just like everyone else here, I would really hate to get rid of a faithful at the first roundtable. So now Natalie jumps in like, well, I haven't made a mistake like that. And that's because I'm not trying to think, am I a traitor right now or a faithful right now? So then Candace decides that she's going to jump in to defend Porsha. And she's like, listen, I know Porsha for a very long time. She dumb as hell. She say dumb stuff. Y'all really gotta know that she's still, it was 265 days in a year. Y'all really gotta know that she thought that the Underground Railroad was really a train that was going through the railroads and had a conductor and everything. This is Porsha. This is Porsha. She was basically calling Porsha dumb in the nicest way possible. That's what she was doing. But I don't think it helped much. But I do love the fact that Candace decided to step in. And then Candace was like, because in my own opinion, I think that is Donna. She would make the perfect traitor. Oh, she's just Mama Kelsey. Oh, she's just so sweet and loving. And then this one, I was like, I'm on to you, Mama Kelsey. Because Mama Kelsey all of a sudden snapped into her little spicy mode. She wasn't so sweet anymore. She said, and I can say the same thing about you, Candace. Typical traitor and deflection. I said, oh, so all that sweet little low hanging fruit just went away, didn't it? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Now, Ron was like, well, Candace, why are you so quick to believe Donna? And Candace was like, this wasn't quick. Baby, I've been thinking about this all day. I was waiting to get to the round table to bring her up. What are you talking about? And I was like, Ron is going to fight for Mama Kelsey until the end. But he is gun-ho on it being Porsha. And I don't know why it was pissing me off because he did have evidence. But I was just so mad that he wanted her out so bad. Oh, it was just like, yo, you gotta chill. And then one of my subscribers told me in the comments that he was the one who said, put it in a housewife grave, put it in Porsha. I thought it was Michael, but come to find out, it was Ron. So now I'm side-eyeing you, Ron, because what's your beef, sir? What's your beef? So now Michael decides that he wants to jump in because he wants to talk about the daggone shields. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, it's really not that serious. He want to bring up why nobody wanted to negotiate. Michael, bye. Bye. We are not negotiating shields. Like, what have you been watching all these years? Are you really this fucking dumb? Nobody's gonna give you their shield to protect you when they can protect themselves. Make it make sense. He's sitting there talking about something. It was just 8 people up, and I was up for elimination that time, and I just thought we would have a more chance to go. Shut up. Oh my God, he was working my everlasting nerve. I'm like, if y'all just don't vote, y'all can just vote him out to vote him out. He don't even have to be a traitor for real at this point. Just let him go. Get him out of here. So then he was like, oh, it was 8 people up for leaving it. Well, now 7 because we got rid of Ian. Everybody was like, whoa. Who is we? Who is we? And then I was like, is Michael the secret traitor? If he's a secret traitor, he's doing a badass job at it. Is Michael the secret traitor? Okay? Because all eyes is on him now. And I said, you see how easy it was to slip up the same way it was for Porsha? This is why I don't think it's Porsha. Now, it could be very much Porsha, but we know it's not because we watched this whole episode. But my thing is, it was just that easy to slip up. But I don't know. My eye is on Michael. I just want him going. So now Mura is like, are you a traitor? And he's like, I'm a faithful. I was like, calm down. So then he's starting to get all worked up. So then Eric's like, Michael, every time you speak, you're really throwing us off. Because what does Jam asking Mura to get off the throne, how does that affect you? How does that affect you? It doesn't. He's really just being obnoxious to be obnoxious. He's talking about, I just wanted a chance. Well, then you should have found the token. Guess what, Michael? If you would have found the token, you would have had the chance. And then you could have taken a place on the throne. But instead, you just thought somebody was going to give you one. Kiss my ass. Now he's just sitting at the table yelling about how he's not a traitor, that he's the most faithful that you will ever know. I was just sitting here like, please vote him out. Let's just vote. When he said, let's just vote, I said, please. So, everyone's putting their votes in. Now, Lisa is struggling because she saw the evidence that Ron had on Portia, but she also don't want to vote a housewife out, like, especially not like right at the first round table. So I can understand, because I feel the same way, because if I'm sitting in this seat, the evidence is pointing to you, Portia. But also, I feel like I would have some type of, loyalty to you. We on the same franchise. Let you live for one round table. You know what I mean? Let me let you live. Now, Donna don't even know why she's being considered. And I'm like, you know exactly why you're being considered. You just didn't think that anyone would catch on to you. Because I'm on to you. Now, everybody done spelled Portia name wrong. I mean, I'm not even gonna say they spelled it wrong, but they spelled it so many different ways. I didn't even know it was that many ways to spell Portia, okay? Now, me personally, I would have voted to get Michael out just because, okay? But if I really had to go for the secret traitor, I think it's Donna. I don't think it's Portia at all. So we get down to the last vote, and this vote determines whether or not it's gonna be a tie between Portia and Donna, or Portia's just gonna go home. And Colton had to make that choice, and he decided that he thought that Portia was a traitor. Y'all, the scream I screamed when he said Portia, I said, oh my God, my girl is going home at the first round table. I was so looking forward to seeing a little bit more of her this season. Like, Portia and Candace was the main reason I wanted to review this season. You know what I mean? Just my luck, the season is really, really good, but I really wanted to see more of Portia. And now I feel like I got it out for Ron, because he was so adamant about making everybody switch their vote to Portia when some of them wasn't even thinking her. And I just wonder how we let Michael slip away with 4 votes when everybody at that table heard him say out his own mouth that he murdered Ian. Ron convinced all of them that Portia said that, right? Because only other 2 people heard it. We heard Michael say we murdered Ian, and he still did not get voted out. Crazy work. Crazy work. So when Portia got up there and she told everyone that she thought that she was going to lead them to finding the first, traitor, she thought she was going to be around alone. She tried to protect all the housewives, and she realized that they wasn't going to protect her, and this, that, and the other. But nonetheless, she wasn't faithful. And I was like, yes, Ron, you put a target on your back. You put a target on your back. And you know what? I'm taking it personal. I took it a little personal, because I was like, yeah, I want him going too. So now I'm on Operation Get Michael and Ron out. It's being petty. I'm being petty, okay? But Candace was saying, like, there's no way Portia could have been a traitor. She's too expressive. She's too emotional. There was no way she was going to be able to do that. So now some of them are sitting around and they telling Donna how she did such a good job at the round table. She was holding up her own. And she's like, I'm just a fan of everybody in the show. So this was like really, really, hard for me. Sympathy. I'm America's grandma. I'm America's mom. We love the Swifties. Yeah, I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it at all. At all, okay? So then we find out that the traitors have some murder in plain sight tonight. If they are successful, then they will be able to meet the secret traitor tomorrow. And if they don't complete the mission, nobody will be murdered tonight. They won't have any say in the murder tomorrow, and they won't meet the secret traitor. So at this point, we have to pull off a live murder, right? So there's tarot cards behind the frame in the kitchen. They have to get the tarot cards. They have to go into the breakfast room and burn the person who they want to be murdered. I don't know, kind of sound like witchcraft to me. Don't know how comfortable I would have been doing it, but I understand. I get it, right? So everyone's just sitting around talking. Everyone's in the kitchen and they trying to figure out how we're going to pull this off. So Candace is sitting there like, I don't know if I should faint. I don't know if I should start crying because of Portia. I don't know what I should do. But what you shouldn't do is start a conga line. Because, girl, how obvious was that? And she does, okay? She has these people, conga, 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 just walking around. Everybody's joining in on the line. And I'm saying here, like, thank God Lisa was in the room to encourage everybody else to get up. So that way it doesn't seem obvious, even though to me it was very much so obvious. So they go past the kitchen. Rob R comes in, acts like he's about to do it. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing this. grabs the cards from behind the frame. Now we need to discuss who are we going to murder tonight, right? So him and Lisa have decided that they're going to play chess. But my thing is, it felt like they was talking loud as hell. You had Tara sitting there looking hard as hell while they talking. I said she had to hit something. She had to hit something. I would not be surprised if later on she's whispering to somebody how she felt like, Rob and Lisa were having a conversation when they was playing chess, because I felt like they was like, either the mics are just that good or they was loud as hell. But she was on to something, because Tara was sitting there just looking. And I was like, yeah, she on to it, okay? Meanwhile, while that's happening, Candace is in the kitchen, right? And Rob C tells her that he thinks there is a murder happening in plain sight. Okay, he was like, don't take anything from anyone, don't drink anything, don't share stuff. And Candace is like, no, these are just Skittles, And then he was like, so who started the conga line? You started the conga line, right? And Candace was like, yep. And I said, it was at that moment he knew he fucked up. He knew he started talking too much. Because if she is a traitor, now she knows that he's on to him. I was like, wow, yeah. Rob C is definitely here to play. He's definitely here to play. He was on it, okay? So while all that is happening, Rob and Lisa have pulled off the murder. They decided to murder, I don't know who yet. They go into the room, they light it on the candle, throw it into the fireplace. I was praying that nobody stepped in, because honestly, it really felt like everybody was just moving around, like anybody was just going to walk in there at any moment. Only thing is, they murdered somebody tonight, and Candace has no idea or clue who it is. So at breakfast tomorrow, she's just going to be shocked, just like everybody else. Child, when I tell you this episode was jam-packed, it was jam-packed and it was good. It was good. I'm about to go watch episode 3 right now, take my notes so that I could go ahead and talk to y'all, because I need to know who the secret traitor is, and I can't wait to get down to the bottom of it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Go ahead, like the video, hype the video up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.